Hello and welcome to this review of my BTC model 7931N keyboard. This keyboard seems to be undocumented, so I feel like it's a good idea to make a video and get some basic information out there. Pulling up the model number on Google doesn't really show anything, but at least the FCC ID showed me more about when and who it was made by. I did try searching the Cyclone label, but it didn't really show anything, so I investigated further and found there was a New Zealand IT company with the same name but not the same looking logo. This could have changed over time, as logos do, but doesn't really explain why the logo sticker is there in the first place. This could have been specifically made for them, considering they work in IT, but honestly, I think someone just put the sticker on there because it looks cool, and I'll leave it on just in case. This keyboard was patented in 1995 by Behavior Tech Computer Corporation in Taiwan. Those familiar with BTC might know them for their dome and slider design, which has a reputation of being one of the good dome and slider designs, but sadly this is just generic rubber domes. What gives this away visually as BTC made is they had a real hard-on with the extra large escape keys. I'm not sure if they only ever did this, but it is a pretty big giveaway. Now, looking at this, you can see that it is clearly yellowed, so it's made out of ABS plastic, and something was probably sitting on it with the way some keys have started to turn yellow, but it does get worse. The layout is also nice, and is what some would refer to as the focus layout, typically used on focus keyboards as shown here. These have normal sized backspaces, a big ass enter key, and then the right shift is split to make space for the slash key that would normally sit above the enter key. This essentially gives the best of both worlds that fans of ISO and ANSI can like. Even though I called it the focus layout, I've seen this very common on BTC boards too, but they just have the extra large escape keys. The build quality of this board is okay. It will flex and creak, but it certainly doesn't feel like snapping in half, as well as the weight of the keyboard is an improvement over modern trash. There are two flip-out feet on the bottom that sadly aren't rubber tipped or anything, but at least there's still two rubber pads on the bottom of the keyboard. Regardless, it's not very helpful, and the keyboard will slip around the desk a bit anyway. Though in practical use, it hasn't really affected me. This keyboard uses PS2 and a non-detachable cable. You can see here, it is an interesting lock indicator bar with a cute little computer image. Sadly, the lights on them bleed a lot and looks kinda awful. I've seen this on other BTC boards and seems to be a thing that they do a lot. Opening the keyboard, we are greeted with a metal backplate. This helps with a more firm and solid bottom out feel and helps with the quality of general build structure. About the switches, yeah, they're rubber domes. But that being said, I'd still put them above modern domes with being fairly snappy and being more on the heavier side to type on. They are less tactile than the MX type switches some enthusiasts really like, but are far more interesting than the dreaded MX Brown. But yeah, kinda mushy. It's also really hard to hate on them too much when I've tried some really mushy switches with little to no tactility. These switches are honestly pretty smooth, but they do suffer from a bit of binding and to be expected with its age. Luckily, all the important keys are well stabilized, so you do have to go out of your way to even feel it, which makes it not really a problem in practical use. Personally, they're too heavy for me, and I don't really like tactile switches to begin with. But in my experience, vintage boards seem to do almost everything better, with more plastic holding the thing together and higher quality rubber domes, but really that's just a result of cheapification over time. The keycap lettering is also some pad printed garbage which is just smudged everywhere, worn off over time, and has shined from heavy use. Which is a shame really, because the font in my opinion looks pretty nice. They're pretty thin too, but thin cabs generally amplify the sound, so I wouldn't say that's a bad thing if you're into it. Personally, I think the sound's not too bad. It's pretty deep, low-pitched, bassy, whatever you want to call it, and I wouldn't say it sounds like a cheapo trash keyboard. This keyboard does come with some weird 2-key rollover, which is usually just due to how the membranes are all wired up. This wasn't designed for gaming, so the WASD cluster would be useless if you aren't playing the most casual of games. So really, this keyboard isn't really anything special. There's other vintage dome keyboards out there that do what this does and does it better, but there certainly is far worse. I'd only recommend getting this or something like it with some spare change, and that's only if you don't already have any other old vintage dome keyboards, or you're simply interested in trying out what they're like. If you like this video, I have a few more videos planned to make, ranging from this Apple MO1108 with Mitsumi switches. They're basically Alps SKCC clones. I want to get a converter first and find a proper cable because Apple. The point of this would be to help me base a proper review on this keyboard. Another review I have planned is this. Alright, so this part's not scripted. I just want to point out that when I was writing this, I was kind of like, alright, I'll just sit down, read this out, and get it over and done with. But I've been sitting here for like nearly 2 hours going over the lines because I can't pronounce words for shit. And it's taken a lot more time and effort. It's taken a lot more time and effort than I thought it would, really. And even then, I've gotten pretty lazy and I'm not really using the best takes I could, or trying over and over again to get the best takes I could, and I'm just going with the really awkward shit that I've done. But anyway, I'm gonna do the haha funny YouTuber thing, where I say, please like, comment, haha, and subscribe. I need subscribers to feed my family because I've spent all my money on buying keyboards. I don't really care though. Anyway, that's the review. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and the following is a typing demonstration of me typing on this keyboard.